There we go.
All right, and hopefully let us know when Tim, that we can get on, promise. So we're gonna open the meeting at 9:15 on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025, at the lovely trailer of the Community Preservation Committee. And I'm going to take a form and make sure everybody can hear us. Oh, you're wearing a lovely spider, which I hate spiders. Connie.
Here.
Tom.
Here.
Jesse.
Here.
Neville.
Here.
John.
Here.
Eleanor. Joe.
Hey.
Myself. You do.
Madam Chair, for the record, I'm here.
Yep, and that was my next thing is Seth. Lana, you're here.
Yes.
Okay, now you had some corrections to the agenda.
Just the one, Lana knows this, and she suggested that we amend the agenda to reflect a correction of the amount for the second bus request, which should be $40,000, not 45.
Is that,
That is the aerial
oh,
photo.
the second one is for,
Yeah,
because the first one's for,
or that might be the building and then take it in, I can't.
one or the other. One is
Yeah.
40, one's
One's 40,
45.
one's 45, I can't remember.
Aerial.
It would have been a lot easier.
It's area, okay,
So it's the area one.
actually. Yes, digitized historic aerial photos.
Okay, that's 40. Okay. Is that the only change that needs to be made? Okay. So with that change, does somebody want to make a motion to approve the agenda?
Sure.
Joe Chopham, is there a second?
Second.
I was waiting for you and you see you at Tom. All those in favor, since nobody's up there, everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, fund requisitions are gonna be held. So what our fearless leader used to do was go through the entire list. Who's in, who's out. For whatever reason. So we had the first one on the list is the Sconset Trust Phase 3 Preservation and Safety Light.
Madam Chair?
Yeah,
Yeah. Do we have the amount that we have to spend yet?
around 4 million, because with interest and everything else, it's probably 4.7, and 7 of that's coming right off the top. So he hasn't given me the concrete figures, but that's what seems to be, Rob seems to think that's okay.
And the 700,000
Seems to think that's okay.
is coming, I know we do the two
Right to
fifty
the
for
bonds.
overhead, 250 for, right to the bonds, okay.
350,000 to the bonds
Okay.
each, because the 2 bonds have been pulled. One's done. Basically, they've spent it. They're halfway through spending the second bond and they're not touching the first bond. So
Okay,
we can
so-
leave that last one, we can leave it alone for
And the other 350 is to,
the second bond.
okay,
So
what
350
about,
for the first bond, 350 for the second, nothing for the third, because they're not even near that yet.
don't we also have to take off money for overhead for,
Yes,
That's how
if it's 4 million.
if it's not 4 million?
Yeah,
Let's be
but it's a
precise, what we
percentage,
got,
it's a percentage of that.
okay, we need to be precise with what we have
Yeah.
to spend.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
For the record, can we, make a motion and vote on the fund requisitions to have them added to the next agenda for, ratifying?
No, no vote. They're just going over to the next one. You don't need to vote to move them. They're just not getting voted on today.
So we're not gonna speak to them at all?
No. If it was up there, that'd be different. So percentage of administration is, what is that one? Is that 2%, 4%? 5%? So that would be right off the top would be 200,000. 200,000. And Glenn, I think we have some left in there.
There's always some left,
Yeah.
and especially now since we don't have an assistant administrator, we
Yeah.
need to get.
I gotta get that figure and I gotta get reserve here.
So that's about 900,000 out of the 4.7 million.
Yeah, and we have a lot in reserve, undesignated, so he's gotta give me those totals. I didn't have them ready for me. Undesignated.
Those undesignated funds come from the, just for the edification of everybody at the table. They come from the funds that are not spent through, the office expenses.
No, it comes from what we used to put in every year. Since time immemorial.
Yeah.
Ken was very specific about putting funds away. Not spending everything we had, but we had twice that much money.
Right.
Jason.
Designated reserves are for the,
Undesignated, I'm saying.
no, I know, but I'm saying designated reserves are for historic preservation. If there's funds left over from that, which there never is, they would go to that pot
Yeah.
for designated reserves. Open space reserves, open space recreation as well as affordable housing. But with the undesignated reserves, those funds come from the unspent funds from the administrative office budget.
But not just that. We used to stockpile money in undesignated reserves, which is how we got over.
From where?
We just didn't spend it.
No,
Tim always made sure
where
we
did it
put
come
money
from?
aside, just out of the general pot.
But it can't be done that way.
It can't, we just don't spend it. Once we've met our 10% on the three, whatever we have left, Ken was very
For
specific
that
about putting money away in case something catastrophic happened
Mhm.
or town meeting voted it out. We would still have money to give away the following year if they ever voted it out. That not happen anywhere in the state, but stranger
Right.
things have happened.
Right,
But that's undesignated reserves is stuff that we stockpile just in case something bad happened.
And that's available for use now?
Yes,
but the,
And how much is that? We don't know.
we don't like to spend it,
yeah,
but it's probably about 1 million, but he has to give me that total.
and the designated reserves. When you, because you're speaking of undesignated reserves, and I said, where does that come from? And you said we stockpile it because Ken didn't spend it all. So if we didn't spend it all, if it came from historic preservation, it goes back to historic preservation, designated for historic preservation.
Apples and oranges. If we
It's
didn't
really
spend the 10% in any of these things, we have to stockpile the minimum 10%. We don't designate funds ahead of time other than the 10%. If we don't spend the 10%, then we got like we did with open space all the time. That
Right,
has to go back into open space.
it has to go back
Gave
into
us a
open space,
pretty
right?
big stockpile, but nothing over 10% goes back into those three. It goes into undesignated, which is why I don't know how much we have in undesignated. Because generally speaking, when we get an open space thing, it's a huge amount of money. So we end up having enough money to actually give them. But that's with the paddle tennis thing and all the other things, we're having that in the excess money coming in.
So we never used that last year though, right?
We gave the rest of it to the paddle tennis.
We did.
Whatever we have left, we give to paddle tennis. Because we had to give 400,000.
Okay.
Madam Chair, that money that's stockpiled that has been there for a while, I think we should add that as a discussion item. Not sure
I
the
gotta get the
wisdom of,
figures.
yeah, I'm not sure the wisdom of stockpiling that when there are projects that could use it. So I think we should discuss that.
We should, but we don't want to leave ourselves with nothing in case something catastrophic happens either. And that's
Define
why Ken was
catastrophic, you
very,
mean like
Ken was
if,
very diligent about
you mean
that.
like if the state did not,
Yes, if we got cut, things like that, you know, so I'll get the figures.
I think we should decide that as a committee though, not.
We did
And we're gonna do it again,
multiple times.
and we're gonna do it again
Yeah, but I gotta get the.
on an
figures.
annual basis.
Yeah, maybe,
We're not
maybe-
putting any more in there
maybe-
because we
maybe
just
too
don't have
much.
the money to put in there. Back in the day, we got 100%.
I want to
Match.
ask another question.
Yeah.
Monies that we have that draws interest, what happens to that
I was
interest?
just.
You get the interest that's added into this.
The interest goes into that.
Yeah, the part of that
Undesignated
700 over the 400 is part of the
Okay.
interest, which is a figure he did not have.
That was my understanding of what the undesignated reserve was. So you just gave me something new that I did not know that.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're ready to go now. Any other questions about the process? Okay. Sconset Trust Phase 3 Preservation of Sankaty Head Light, they're asking for 263, 249. Is that in or out?
sorry, I do have one question.
Yeah.
Has anybody gone through and backed out anything that's not includable? Have you done that sort of?
I
See it
have,
on her face.
I have, unfortunately, I made a mistake, I have these like little, you know, how you
I
can put
know
comments
you
and
do.
then it doesn't do the print and then
Okay. Just so
the
that
the
that
only
number
thing.
cannot be right.
The only thing that I'm not showing on here, but I have a pretty good recollection of it. Is that the Mass Audubon, I didn't email Lena about this, I understood that Mr. Pellegrini.
Pellegrino.
Pellegrino was gonna, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, was gonna come back and remove the various salary items, the fringe, the what was the other weird thing?
Housing, was it?
No, it was like other,
Travel.
It was employee.
no, he had said.
Hold on, I
salaries-
have it.
His salaries, he had fringe, which were associated
Yeah.
with salary, then he had something like other,
I'll tell you in a minute.
It was like 27,000 or something. So
Right.
what I came up with at the end of removing those different things that are not eligible was in the range of 63,000, I think. When was it?
Let me go back to my, there we go.
As soon as I can.
Yeah, because salary was 47,016. Fringe was 21,598.80. Travel was 2,036. And then he had indirect. and that was-
Right, indirect, that was like,
Indirect.
what's
So
the-
we were like, what are you backing out of here?
And that doesn't come out to be contingency because it wasn't any like normal contingency.
No, it wasn't
percentage.
percentage, so he was supposed to get back to us on how that all broken down.
They have not gotten back to us, in terms of the breakdown or an amendment to their application.
I think we were clear about that.
I think what it left Eleanor was $62,550,
That sounds right.
something in that range.
In my invisible sheet.
Because I just kept going slash.
Glenna has it actually in that email.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
should-
I'm pulling it up right now,
Yeah.
just waiting to get connected here. I
But we're
did,
not there yet.
Okay, that's the
but
only,
once we get
to
there.
answer the
That's right.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everything else is, they're going to update it on the agenda, other than the 40, which is just a typo.
Okay.
Okay. So is the sanctity head light in or out?
And
Is that the general consensus there?
I would say that's, yeah.
You know, I don't know about full funding, but yeah,
Right, but in,
you know,
yeah.
okay. Landmark house.
Well, wait,
What?
agreeing with that stipulation, did we ask them or iterate that they should say what their priorities were? I can't recall. I know we did do that with most of them.
And they forget what it was now.
Yeah.
The sanctity?
Yeah. You know, if they were to, the usual question we have, which is,
I don't think we had anything
It was
in the
either-
priority
either
list
fix it or
because
not
they
fix
were
it kind of
pretty
thing.
maybe
clear
because
and concise with their application. I don't think that, there was anything
they
from
could-
sanctity that we needed.
Yeah, I don't think they could parse that one, because they gotta fix the outside of it, and they gotta fix the stairs so they're safe. And that was pretty much, you can't parse that out, do half the lighthouse.
I guess I would also note that I think they probably had the best submission and
Right,
presentation of
absolutely.
anybody this year, but there is a lot of asks.
Madam Chair, are
Yeah.
we going to vote
No,
individually, or are you just gonna say yes?
we're just sent to the meeting in there out. Community Service Inc., the Landmark House,
and,
And,
okay,
And
Hospital Thrift Shop,
and,
and,
okay. First Congregational Church,
and,
Artists Association, 8 Federal Street.
no, that's.
no,
Okay, so we did remove that,
Yes.
because they were gonna come back with.
No,
some-
I sent the message.
You've been off the grid. They
They
would.
would-
I sent the
Off the
message.
grid.
yeah.
We got the
We
email.
even 3 box
They
trucks full of
withdrew.
trunk out of my uncle's house, 2 days ago. That's where I've been, underwater. Okay, so that's out, great. Remain,
We'll come back to that.
okay,
Yeah,
was that?
remain,
remain.
A tough one.
I have a question mark about that.
Yeah,
I have some
yeah.
questions about that.
yeah, what's up, let's go ahead,
What, the questions?
yeah,
Okay, this, first I wanna ask, do they have a preservation restriction in place or pending?
pending, as far as I know.
And this is the third time they're coming to us, am I correct?
Second.
Yeah,
Second
Third.
time?
I think it's the second.
third,
Third.
they've earned 699,000 into it now.
Yep.
Did we fund a small amount of
We
clears?
did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 11,000 to do the
It's the second.
research.
11,000 for research,
They're operating under one now with the roof and the drainage
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh,
that they can't do because they didn't hook up with someone else.
They're still working with the
11.
town. 11 for the research on the building,
Yeah, yeah.
what had to be done.
700.
All right, what else?
Yeah, so this is their third request.
Yeah.
And they don't have a preservation restriction in place, or they don't have any pending. I have a question, I have questions about that. And the amount that they got the last time, they can't use it. You see, at least they said they cannot use it until some other things are done, so, and they're coming for some more money. And it's a big ask they're asking for this time. So, as I said, I have questions about it. I wanted to hear what the rest of the committee had
Yeah,
to
I
say.
mean, I think, put the pin in this one and moving on, because to me, it just seems like there's more important things. that might be than this.
And they have to work out this drainage sewer thing.
I do appreciate that they decreased the amount by an almost $400,000. That's, they made a real effort. They did that last time.
So what's the total they want now?
341, 199.
41.
Wasn't there also some discussion about whether there's public access to that?
Yes.
Correct.
That's the other thing, but,
Yeah, and we established that there's public access and the building is in the public domain, and that's something we can consider. They don't have to actually physically go in a building.
Okay.
It's a cornerstone of Main Street.
I know where, I get
And
that, I just.
The state has allowed us to do that if it's a totally public access building from the visual point of view, historically.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
and so to that end, my understanding is that it needs to be exterior. There's nothing that can be done on the interior because there are businesses, profitable businesses that are inside.
Yeah, so the exterior is a critical importance downtown, like St. Mary's, a rectory. That was done because it's a historically significant structure.
I think this is mostly exteriors.
Yeah,
Yeah. no,
Oh, yeah, all
it
exterior.
Has to be.
the drainage situation is pretty critical there.
I also appreciate that they're doing, sorry, that they're trying to work with Charles Johnson on an innovative stormwater
Yeah, for that whole,
project for the
corner.
downtown. I think that.
But my understanding about exterior and historic preservation is the actual structure of the building,
Right.
not the interior workings.
Right.
Like the storm drains and all of that.
that's exterior.
Well, that's
Yeah.
That's
exterior.
exterior.
Well, I would like a definition of that in terms of using CPC fund. I'm talking about CPC funding
Right,
being used for historic preservation.
right.
On a situation like this, it has to be on an exterior.
No, I agree.
use.
I don't think that they said they were gonna use our funds for the stormwater project. They were just
Yeah.
saying, just so you know, we're doing this other thing in collaboration with the town, which I personally appreciate.
Actually, the conversation was
I think that's what they said.
that the drainage system from the building is impacting the building stability
Mhm.
because of the type of
Cracking.
construction. Cracking the roof, flooding because it's a fairly flat roof. They've got all kinds of stuff going on, which is what a lot of this money is supposed to be going to. So there were issues with the water on that building. So it all ties into the town's problem with the water in that corner coming down Orange Street to begin with. So that's what they've been trying to work through the last year or so with the town on how to exactly take the water that's impacting the building and put it someplace. So it's not undermining the building. So all that still is up in the air. I'm happy to see that they've cut it in half almost, but is it further questions for them that they need to answer?
Yes,
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
I would just need to obtain a copy of their pending preservation restriction. Cause I don't have that in the office.
A lot of these are pending because it takes so long to get them done. One of these
No, I
is
know it
still
does
3
take-
years into it.
But I have a lot of them, and most of the active ones, they are in the office.
All right, we have to ask.
Or even a letter, just something stating that it's pending, because, as you know, the rule is they cannot, withdraw
That's
those
the
funds
policy.
until,
So let's not go there.
Was
yet.
that-
well, that's the law.
you're cutting,
It's not the law.
It's in
a
the, it's in
policy
the,
that
well,
we
it's,
set.
it's in the grant agreement.
Yeah, we set that policy. It's not the law. Neville?
Madam Chair. The CPA Act says we cannot give funds to a private enterprise unless they have preservation restriction in place or pending.
Mhm.
Because that's public funds that's being used to support a private enterprise. That is in the CPC Act.
What's in
Madam
the
Chair.
act is if we give them funding, not before they get granted funding, if we give them funding, they have to seek a preservation restriction.
Right,
And I believe they're working with Mary on just how to, what to
Well, they
do,
do
because they
say-
haven't spent that money. They spent the 11,000. They haven't spent that money.
right.
They have it as of July 1. So we just have to circle back with Mary to see if they're working with Mary. A lot of these have to circle back that they're in
Yes.
continuing.
But that's the only reason why I asked.
Is
Did they have, I'm sorry, did they have a preservation restriction pending or intact?
It's not
So
gonna
this
be
was their
exact-
this is their third ask.
Okay,
If it's pending, I understand.
so where are we with this? Do we have more questions to bring them in here and ask?
I think I already know the answer, but this is not a 501(c)(3), is it?
No.
No.
So what do we want to do with this?
Further discuss,
Mhm.
move on to the rest of them until we can come back. to
Okay,
some
put a
of them.
question mark
Yeah, I
here.
sort of feel like we
Yeah.
need to figure out what we
Total
can
total of the
prioritize.
numbers.
Yeah.
And
All right,
See where
we
we
got,
are.
Town of Nantucket Preservation Institute,
Buy some of those.
that's in.
Yes,
Take all the towns.
This is short money for a lot of bang.
yeah.
Town of Nantucket Preservation Institute, West
Here.
Monomoy, continue what we started before,
Yes,
okay? Planning and use updated the building with Nantucket in mind.
absolutely.
We already have a stockpile in there, which they couldn't use because they didn't have enough. Absolutely.
So, okay.
Oh, my God. Historic aerial scanning project,
That's the
Yes.
40,000 one, just for the record.
yep.
Thank you.
Okay, Nantucket Island School of Design,
Yep,
Yes.
That's it.
we're not, but you guys do what you need to do with this.
And that one's still not, well, okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just gotta make sure I'm keeping track, yeah. Okay, historical was ahead when.
Do we wanna discuss that? I mean, that, I didn't
I'm,
hear,
I'm having a problem with it. I've had a problem with it last year.
well, we just blew by that. Let's go and get
So
it.
put a question mark here?
No, I say yes.
I say yes.
Neville said yes, I'd like to tell you why I say yes.
I say,
Please do.
Yeah,
All right.
please.
I mean, we could potentially ask them to lower the amount, maybe reduce some of this stuff that they're doing. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if we,
They did.
they did reduce it, you're right.
It's,
And by pretty, what's the amount?
$15,000.
yeah, not
15.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, but on the other hand, they came before us last year, their application was a little bit defective and they didn't fix it in time. And so they didn't get the funds, so they had to postpone, so there's deferred maintenance. But you know, which is not a good thing for the
Maintenance.
structure. We're deferred, okay, whatever you want to call it, it is in a sense deferred maintenance, but the structure is in peril by being neglected or not worked on for another year, having been moved from a, et cetera, et cetera. This organization does wonderful work. They cannot do it without our funding. They have sought matching funds from MHC and other things. I think their presentation was good. They're very passionate. I mean, I feel, I don't want to say no, was that we had to say no, not last year. I think they made a real effort this year. They're working on the preservation. I mean, they're clearly behind the scenes doing some work. So those are my feelings about it. I mean, maybe it's a little bit emotional sounding, but
and Madam Chair, if nobody else has anything.
Go ahead.
So as most of you know, when we get invites, I send them out to everyone, and so they have invited us out on several occasions, just to come out and see the property, and so I took the opportunity to go out and actually look at it. And, to, Eleanor's point, they are doing great work out there. And I went into those cottages, that were moved from 71 Washington Street, which are, as you know, historical, cottages. And in walking through, you can see the work or the preservation that needs to be done. I went into, which was a small space, looks like maybe it's going to be a bathroom of sorts. And if I stepped down on that, I probably would have fell through because you could see through the bottom of it. And so they've also already done a lot of the work. They paid to have those structures moved there. They paid to do the shingles. So they've done a lot of the restoration work already pre their applications. So that's what they put into it, and cutting out the, $14,000, it's $14,500 may seem minimal, but they've already put so much into it. I think maybe over $1 million or so. But I just wanted to give everybody an update on, what I see.
All right, what you just said illuminates my problem. We can't consider your falling through the floor. We can't consider any restoration that they're doing inside. This whole thing is to rehab the entire inside and outside. They're not here for housing. They're here under
They're
historic
historic
preservation,
preservation, right?
which is the exterior of that structure.
Well, they do have exterior work that needs to be
Then
done.
pull it out of
but we're doing other things that are doing interior work.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
I don't think that's, I
I,
mean,
I,
I'd rather,
you can't do this, but that's just me. You guys do what you need to do with this thing.
I'd like to see half or a third of something, like, I think that we should give something so they keep moving forward, because otherwise.
You can go-
Landmark House,
Yeah.
First Condo, these are all.
let's just put a hold on
No,
it.
those are windows.
I mean, since not
They were
everyone,
paid for.
not everyone is agreeing, let's just put a hold on it and then go back to it.
Wasn't there a threshold question about
I mean, you got my vote.
access?
Well, let me-
Yeah, they were doing this a lot.
It's another
stuff like
sign.
that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, do a third, do we piece it up
Yeah.
3 years or 2
They're
years?
gonna have artists.
I think we should give them something.
Public, you know.
So that-
classes
that
and
kinda
stuff
got
like
them over
They were
that
gonna
hurdle?
put that in.
Okay.
Right, and I don't know, someone here on this committee needs to call community preservation. This project, they are working on a preservation restriction, which is gonna restrict the houses and the land, so it belongs to the public. They cannot sell it, they can't get rid of it. If they did, it stays that way. They cannot destroy it. I think we had one of the projects like that down in Surfside, I forgot what it was called. So that belongs to us, the interior and the exterior. And we can do the interior yeah, under this circumstance. That is what that's what the act says.
Madam Chair,
Tom,
I think they're a fantastic organization and these buildings are historic and they are in need of work and it will benefit the organization, all that. I am not comfortable without a plan from them on how the public will be able to access these, because I think there is a difference, like with the NRSA or something, where yes, there's a membership, but a public can book courts at any time, right? That has a distinct public access part, as do many other organizations. But in the absence of something for us to deliberate on, I can't support it, as deserving as they are.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. That's my problem.
Through the chair to Tom. So it brings me back to the project that we did with the building envelope for my common villages. They're units that people live in, but it fell under the historic preservation category so that we could fund it. And I believe that there was interior and exterior work that was done on those projects. And I mean, there's no public access per se to that other than, you know, folks inviting people over for dinner.
Where was that?
No, they're all.
The building
all
envelope.
exterior.
Building envelope project, My Common Village,
Oh,
Benjamin Drive.
They're a public entity, though.
Yeah,
Like
and
that-
it was all exterior work. It was roofs, windows, doors, shingling, it was all exterior. We did the interior.
Yeah, I have to go and look at the, because I think there was two, that they came in for.
But either way, we
But it's-
want to come back to this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Comparable.
Question. Candle factory. This will finish it off. Any questions here?
Just part of my ignorance, you know, some I see that are subtracted and some I don't see subtracted. Did they take anything off this? Like we asked most people
No,
to,
Not that, not that.
okay.
That's a whole one project.
Okay, all
Okay, restoration of the old mill. Can we continue?
Well, did we say yes for, the Hatton and Bonnie?
Yeah, I didn't hear any objections.
I didn't hear
Yeah. It's a question.
Tough sound.
I have a really tough time and I've said this before. And
Cause I need to write something down.
Was that on?
I have a tough time with an organization as frankly well off as the NHA. They're a wonderful, wonderful organization. Their applications are impeccable, their presentations are great, everything they do is great. All that being said, they do have fundraising capabilities that other of these organizations do not have. And when I see these two asks and I've only been on here for 4 years, I believe, and every year we get something from, at 1 or 2 applications from NHA. And I bet if you did a percentage breakdown of what has been doled out, a heck of a lot of it has gone to an organization that has tremendous fundraising capabilities, tremendous. Like kudos to them. And if we were a bottomless bucket, I would have no hesitation, but we are not a bottomless bucket. I've done a little bit of math. If we divvy it out and we really only have 4 million. Minus the 400,000 we know we're gonna give to affordable housing, it leaves 1,800,000 for each of the other remaining categories. That's not a lot when you have 5 million and change requested. Almost 3 million of which. 3 million of which is for the NHA. So I am a no on the NHA stuff. I'm sorry. I really do support what they want to do, but I feel like every year the hand is out and, I have to play a little bit.
Okay, let's put a hold on that one.
Well, hang on.
Well, that's just me.
Hold on a
just
second.
one more.
I'm with Ellen.
We're basically own the candle factory. We have done everything humanly possible to keep that building stable. Our last project with them was the rear wall coming off the back of the building, which they have fixed. They redid the roof. We've done some of the windows on this thing. We've done the air conditioning, part of it, and we're doing handicap accessibility. We've done everything to make sure that building stays for another 300 years and public has full access to all those floors. To not continue to finish what we started, like the churches, not the churches, but these structures that churches have in. We finished those projects because we own those projects. We've funded them, and we always see these projects through to the end. We don't stop funding something in the middle of trying to get it to completion.
That's your point.
We've never done that. So that's my problem with saying no to this one.
I think you're making my point. A little bit stronger, frankly. And again, I think the projects are totally worthwhile. Wonderful organization, et cetera. I really do. And I hate to have to do this, but I just think we have a limited amount of money. This is budgeting. We have to budget in a way that I think takes into account the fundraising. I remember last year, I believe it was St. Paul's Church, they have limited coffers. And they were doing a tremendous capital campaign to raise money for their project. And they decreased the initial ask at our requests. And we were able to give them what the bare minimum that they could do the project. I want to see more of that.
I'm with Ellen. I think they've asked so much, and if you take them out, we're at 4.9 million.
Yeah.
So I know that some of they're really important, but anyone on Nantucket that comes to Nantucket and you're like, hey, we're fundraising for Nantucket Historical. I can't imagine anyone saying no to them. I just think they have a really long reach, and I think they're important. I mean, good Lord, it's our history. But I do think that they can go and say, hey, we didn't get money this year because of other things that were more needed. You know, we're looking at 20 different organizations. I think that could be something they could turn and say, well, we weren't able to get it this year. Can you guys help us?
All right, I've
So
got a
that's
problem, because we're making a lot of assumptions here. About a reduced economy, everybody's not giving to everybody anymore. We're making a lot of assumptions that they're well off, they're not. They have 20 some odd structures they have to keep up and running, historic structures. They're doing the best they can with what they have. They're doing a lot of the work in-house for a lot of it, but when you get to that Whalen Museum, that is not in-house project. That's one of their projects that they can't do in-house. They do in-house for the 99 Main or whatever that one is up there. They do in-house for that. They pay for their own people. They have their own construction crew now because they bought the property next door to them out on Bartlett Road. So they have a shop,
So it's close.
all that stuff. So we're making assumptions that they have a lot of fundraising potential for two projects that are already ongoing. If they were brand new projects, that's different. But both of these projects, especially the mill, are ongoing. And to cut them off right in the middle of the project actually physically being done is irresponsible on our part because it doesn't protect the money we've already paid to have the building secured. So that's why I'd rather put a question mark and come back to it and have them put in what they've done for fundraising and what their, their 1099 is or whatever it is they have, 1090, whatever they have.
Yeah.
And have them answer those questions before we make assumptions that they've got all this legit out there. They don't.
Well,
Most of the projects are ongoing. We're in phase 3, 4, and 5 with some of these projects, so. Just for the record.
my question is the amount on the mill. I mean, I'm a builder. I could do a heck of a lot for 2.8 million. I don't understand
And
that.
appropriations.
Were you here when they made the?
No, I was here,
presentation?
yeah, and I understand.
This is
that
not,
Only
sit
special
around.
people, I get that, Linda, but I'm in this business, you know? I mean, I just gotta wonder about that amount, and it's the biggest one on our whole list,
and they know that
right? I
they're not
mean,
gonna get that.
okay,
But
well,
problem with this mill.
did they give us a revised thing of what they need now, what they could put off, which I specifically asked them for when they were here?
No, we didn't ask them for that.
I did, I asked the
We'll
guys.
go back, we'll circle back to
I
that.
said, you have this team, they're gonna develop a plan of what needs to be done and how it needs to be done, so break that out into costs and give it back to us, and they didn't do it.
Well, we'll have to do it,
That's my.
because the problem was you can't go half-assed on that mill. It's gonna be
I
tight.
get that. But that's
And,
a lot of money.
one of the biggest problems, I have the pictures for it, because I had to go to the HTC for them. When they did the 1989 or whatever it was on that, east side. You have no idea what they did to that mill. They have to take all of that off, that whole wall off, to start over again and put the correct wood and everything else back into it. It was a crap show. I saw all the pictures of that thing, and it was a bunch of guys like you doing it, that said, okay, we'll just fix the wall. Take the wall, take the door out, take the window out, take this out, and they just slapdashed it back on there. So now that they've gotten into the mill, now we got a problem in order to preserve the only functioning windmill left in the country, apparently. So if they have to adjust this, they gotta adjust
I
this.
think they're gonna
But
have.
they're gonna have to give us the phase. My problem was a phase. Now, Tim suggested, I'll just throw this on the table.
Well, he's not here.
I know, but Tim suggested to me the other day that why don't we take a bond to finish the mill? Well, I didn't ask you for an opinion. I'm just saying,
Well,
think
he's in
about
here,
that.
Madam Chair.
He threw that at me the other day about taking a bond to finish the mill and get it off the table. It was an interesting concept because we float bonds and we have the ability, CPC has the ability to take bonds. And we've done it 3 times now, but we did it another time, the Delta, the field. The fields,
Yeah.
which we paid off a while ago. So we have done it for these high-end projects
Idea.
to get them off the table and get the thing finished. So it's not sitting there for 3 years waiting for the next phase, the next phase, the next phase. So that's what they're trying to avoid, but they did put in a large number in and they know that's not gonna happen. Because we can't take all the money from everybody else and give it to one project. But that's why he suggested maybe we do a bond like we did for the fields, like we've done for that town. So
Madam Chair,
that's where that is.
so. I don't know, this is a little chicken and egg kind of
Yeah.
question here, but why would an organization submit for 2.8 million if they know they're not gonna get, well, if they for sure know they're not gonna get, like, I know why, but.
Well,
But
you
like-
guys did that for the paddle thing. You put the whole amount in. We knew we weren't gonna give it to you. We phased you guys into
But in
oblivion.
multiple phases, knowing we only get 4 million, I mean, they very much know what our universe, our bucket is here. I don't know. I'm torn on this one. I agree with Eleanor and Joe. There's a lot of other worthy projects here.
I also think, Tom, to piggyback on what you're saying is like, yes, they knew, Belinda, this was gonna be phased. They knew, so they could have planned ahead and done fundraising specific, maybe they are, I don't
Yeah,
know.
That's what I'm saying. We
It's
make a lot
highly,
of
it's highly
assumptions.
probable they do have some organized fundraising campaigns for these things. They're not reaching out to me, like, I could change, but I just
Hold on.
feel like they knew they were gonna have to face these things, and obviously I have a historic structure. You know, the minute you lift up anything, you're gonna find something else and you're doubling your costs, no, greater. So that wasn't necessarily an unknown that they're gonna run into additional very costly.
As much as they got into though.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
For record's sake, you said that Tim threw that out, that we should do a bond of some sort. Was that during the last meeting?
No, he called me from out there. That's
Oh,
why I said I'll bring it up at the meeting and see.
oh,
You know,
okay.
just throw it on the table for somebody
All
to
right,
think about.
because I wanna note that if.
No, he didn't. He
he's
just
not
called me
here.
and I said I'd throw it
didn't
out on the
make it.
table here. So we got a
Okay.
question, need more information from the mill. And we need more information from the Hadley, from the candle factory. It's always gonna be the railroad, isn't it?
Madam Chair, my thing was not, I need more information. And I kind of agree with Antonelli on the, and Joe on this. I I would be okay with not funding them this year. I would be okay with that. We have a lot of other things to fund, and we are looking at the monies that we have. And I would be okay with that. And there was also something else. We have been, the NHA, they've been our partners from the very beginning. We have a lot of their projects that we have funded, a lot of them. So they know that we are, you know, we're not doing it in any kind of, and we're not against what they're doing.
Yeah.
So we support them, but I would be, I'd be willing not to fund it this year. That's my take on it.
I just wanna make. a quick
Hold on,
comment.
Joe was,
No, go ahead. No, you have to stand up.
Yeah, I think what we just need to find out is what we all agree on, and then find out what that final number is. And go back to these, and maybe they can get some money. Depending on what our final number is, because that final number is really the key factor.
well, they need to give us more information in
Yeah,
the
that's what
meantime.
Jesse's basically saying, like, get more information.
We'll get more information. Can they phase that mill? Give
Right,
us that figure.
I mean, but
And what is their fundraising potential, well, et cetera, on these things, so we have a better grasp of exactly what they can't do and what they have in reserve to throw at this.
I would just love to know what the number is that we all agree on the things that need to happen and what that number comes into and versus what we have to fund, and then see what we have left. And go back to the ones that we have in question.
Because they're starting in the spring, no matter what.
Yeah.
So whether they go get funding or whatever, it sounds like we should get more information from them.
All right, so the two question marks are there. Okay, so let's move on.
And then we'll have our money in the spring, unless it's the last year's allocation.
This is last year.
So what?
Let's move on.
They won't have this money in the
We move
spring.
on.
They must be using last.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
step
how
that
they
they
got to
have,
where they are.
they have a step to do before they continue and do anything else.
That's how we got
They
here.
need the building, to structuralize the building, to
Right.
make it safe before they
I'm
go
all over
further.
that thing.
So they can't spend any more money.
Yes.
All right, affordable housing, we know that's it. See, let's go.
Got it.
And now we have the largest amount open space.
No, the largest amount is for historic preservation, it's 5 million.
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, right.
Open space, we normally have none.
Right.
Or
Oh,
one.
right.
Or one.
Right,
This is the most we've seen since probably ever.
$2,239.40 with the
Ever.
adjusted decreased amount.
Is the ice rink out
The
for
ice
sure?
rink's gotta be
Well,
out.
let's do this one at a time, guys,
Yeah.
one at a time,
Okay, just-
one at a time. Right.
Linda. you
Safe
asked the
harbor
question.
for animals, then we'll get to that question. Safe harbor for animals is up first, they did reduce it somewhat.
I've gotta be no on that.
Well,
Much as I love my dog, there's, it seems like there's other. more
well,
important
there are, but let's look at this from what we did this year on the one on the new school. Is it the new school? Lighthouse.
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse
The
School,
rain garden.
Rain Garden.
It's way less money.
This is way less money,
This-
and I think they're. Did they give us a breakdown on the 577 or just here's the new figure?
And there was a
I said,
breakdown.
whatever they sent to me, I sent it to
Yeah,
everyone.
there is a revision, but still, it's a huge
But
number.
Yeah.
did it break down even further that we're not paying for
$20
certain?
million.
All right, guys, one at a time, please. We're not sure if they're still making us pay for the electricity to the property or the plumbing to the property, you know what I'm saying? Are we paying for infrastructure that has nothing to do with the open space part of this?
I think they took that
They
out.
took it out. They
Yeah,
had
but
a-
that's still
Did
a
anybody
lot
look
for
at what I
a
sent
green
them?
space.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know what's included in that 577.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Can we get a real heavy breakdown, Glenna, from them on that?
They did,
Well, they sent something.
They did. It was pretty good.
Let me just
Yeah,
see.
but I
I sent it
had
out
that
to everyone.
put in my yard. I had-
Submissions here?
Yeah, I'd have green grass. If I had that kind of money. But I just don't know how granular this is as opposed to grass and walkways. But that's not relevant anymore because they cut it.
she doesn't have the updated one.
I don't have the updated one. That's the old one.
But plus I feel like this is about before the horse, like the building's not in place, like, do they really need it now? Can this hold off? I think it's a huge
That's
ask.
a-
This is-
that's-
True.
That's a
That's
big
right.
one right there.
It's a
That's a
cart
very
before
good
the
point,
horse.
Joe.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's a very good point. This could, you know,
This could wait.
this could wait.
The funeral procession.
That's a very good point.
It's very ambitious.
But I just wanted to
Sorry.
know how granular they got with that 577.
It's in their revised thing.
Is there stuff in there that shouldn't be in there?
It's still not gonna take it down to maybe even under 500. from what I saw. So it's still a huge ask.
What the thing is, the thing that I like about the revised thing is, we can, if we chose to fund them, we can pick out of that what we wanted to fund.
Correct.
And then have to do the rest.
Well, I mean,
That's the thing about the
to
revised.
Joe's point for waiting, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
You raised your
It's okay.
hand, go ahead.
I mean, even if, when we go back and we see how much money we have left over, and what if we just put 100,000 to something for next year, you know? Or if there is something left over,
Like stockpile.
It may be
stockpile.
still too early, because we don't have the whole thing planned out really. So,
Not to jump ahead to the end of the plot here, but if you take out. Nantucket Historical Association's two projects, you take out Safe Harbor and you take out Nantucket Rink, we're at 3.9 million.
yes, we got,
Found everybody.
yeah.
I'm in a meeting.
Gotta
I'll
make
call you back.
choices somewhere.
Looking at their amended sheet, they took out the land acquisition, which reduced it by 400,000, and then a bunch of other stuff that was less amounts they reduced.
No, wait a minute, they reduced it by 400,000?
Well, it's.
I don't even know.
No, they didn't, they were just by two.
So what's the total they have now?
It was 725.
Right?
It's now it's five,
He has-
It's
seven.
$150,000.
Right.
Well, no, I'm sorry, their project costs.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, how am I trying to say this?
This is just for the park though.
Right,
Yeah, so the total park is 1.1 million.
Okay.
And so the original ask was 725 and we asked them to reduce it and it's now 577, right?
It's my understanding.
But personally, I love the idea. It goes along with some of these more innovative open space things, like we did with the rain garden. Which had another function as well. But it may be premature, but we're not
agree.
telling them not to come back for it.
Yeah,
We
could do
just
it
don't
as
have
the-
it this year.
yeah.
Is that, is everybody
That makes a
comfortable
lot of
with that?
sense to me.
Yeah.
All right, so it's out for now then?
Wait, yeah.
I mean,
Come
we,
back.
yeah, we'll come back
I don't
to
even know if you
that.
come back
That's a
to.
question mark.
Okay, Nantucket Ice Rink. I couldn't find a way around it.
No,
It's gotta be out.
great idea, but.
So I would like to make a comment on this, being a father of three and knowing how important and it is to have indoor space.
Absolutely.
And how much use this would get, it's,
That's not the
it's,
issue.
but
That's not the
it's
issue.
just,
Still
I
indoor.
understand, so my question is, we did vent this and there is no way that we can do it
We gotta
based
do
on
it.
inside out and all that
Yeah.
stuff, because I thought we were gonna research that a little bit.
It came out.
It's slippery
Yeah,
slope
it's
if we
still-
start.
We still couldn't, I couldn't
Okay,
find a way
all right.
around it.
Also,
Because it's-
I go to rink once a week.
Honestly,
I get it.
you know, this,
Make a
this, I
front
mean,
page of the
as,
book.
Probably the most useful one
yeah,
on here.
yeah.
Yeah.
This one to,
All right, guys,
this one
one
to
at a
me
time.
is more important.
If we had
Issue.
created the ice rink with CPC funding,
Yeah,
there was probably a way to expand the use of that recreational facility.
yeah,
However, if somebody came in here with a new recreational facility in what's left of Tom Nevers, we could participate.
yeah.
But in this particular case, we didn't have anything to do
Yeah,
for the most part with this thing.
Well-
Glenna,
And Madam Chair, and also, the act just definitively says we cannot fund anything that's indoor, we just can't. That's, I mean, it's in there. I
Yeah.
sent that to everyone.
Yeah, I read it.
There's just no way, not unless, you know, they
Yeah.
change the
Okay.
act moving forward to
I-
say that.
But
we
I get it. I
can't
if
just-
fund-
we
that's-
created an
Outdoor.
outdoor, if we
from
created
the
the
beginning,
indoor
yeah. I understand,
facility,
yeah.
we can do that. That's
It's just-
recreation.
I'm just reading what Stuart sent me.
So-
And I sent
Hopefully
everyone.
that's a fairly small ask for a big
Yeah.
thing.
Improvement.
Yeah,
And if they can get it somewhere else, it would be huge.
Well, having been on the finance committee to build the rink, I'm sure that they can figure it out.
Yeah,
They've been very quick
They've
to
been
get
very
the,
good.
I'm with
I mean,
yeah,
And I hope they do.
they,
It's a
their
great thing.
cooling units that just broke were like
We're huge.
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
I completely agree with Jesse. This is a little off topic, but I think that this project falls well within the spirit of CPA, of CPC, and I wish we could fund it.
Yeah.
And maybe the committee might want to consider sending a letter to our legislative delegation to amend CPA.
That's a great
on
idea.
this at some point.
Yeah.
I think that's a worthy endeavor.
the only I agree in spirit, but do you realize what you're opening,
Oh,
what
yeah.
door you're opening if we
That's a
start to
good
do
one, too.
indoor recreation?
Bowling alley.
I mean, you know, there's people coming to the land bank like,
But there's no,
Well,
there's
we can't.
no one saying we can't do that.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
And this is a 501c3, guys. It's not just a bowling alley for the public and whatever.
And I think-
I would love a bowling alley, don't knock them all.
I'm getting a bowling alley.
We're getting putt-putt golf.
Golf,
I'm making him give me the bowling alley.
roller skate.
We're getting putt-putt golf, so,
Why are we
but
getting putt golf?
in the playgrounds.
But
But
fairgrounds what?
restaurant.
There are
Um,
3 buildable lots back there for duplexes.
No.
All right, well,
Madam Chair.
But no, but back on point, point of order.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to your point, I think that we should, for one ask, just because Nantucket specific, this is, we've been. There's a group of someone trying to get an indoor facility built, so if this kind of checks that box for us, I think we should kind of say we're in a unique space. With limited land, et cetera, commercial land. I think this would be something that we should ask for some variance or some special request, so I agree with
It
Tom.
has to be done through the legislature.
No, I get that, but I think there should be some things.
They're over, I'm sorry, Madam Chair,
Yes,
there are over 200, there are actually 201, I believe, CPC in the state of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So if you were to do something like that, it'll affect all of them.
Yeah, no, I get
So I
it.
doubt if something like that
You
would
can't
work.
do it. I get it.
Why not?
Well, you can try, but I doubt if it'll work.
You don't know unless you ask.
Yeah.
That point.
What, the letter or,
It'll stop.
I'll talk to
They'll be
Julie,
able to-
see what he thinks.
I mean, I don't, that's just, that's just saying that you are, you know, upset that you can't fund it and that we support anyone that can. I mean, right? Is that the letter?
No, he's asking for change in
If we can change the
Oh,
legislation. Yeah.
Modification of the regulation.
I thought it was more than letter of support.
I gotta talk to Stuart too, see what he thinks.
I think.
He was very clear in his response.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if how he thinks about tinkering with the CBA Act.
Ask him about that.
Again,
That's an interesting idea.
Now I can see what you're.
completing the coffer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So safe harbor is out, it's premature, so we have to craft a letter particularly, and
We may come back next
the
week.
ink, the rink is out.
So if you take those two things out, just FYI, leaves 1,300,000, so the total ask with the remaining asks, and that doesn't take into consideration Mass Audubon reducing, because I want to know where that's gonna end up. But it would be with the full Mass Audubon ask, which we're not gonna give, is $1,376,014.
So we're doing good, but we could start adding back in, but.
Can I ask a question about this? I remember.
Which
The
one?
full, that's
All
everything.
right, can we stay in order though?
Okay.
Linda Lauren is
Linda
next.
Lauren.
Lorraine Foundation is next,
Yes,
Yes.
okay. The racket guys,
yes.
That's not the right amount though. There was something in there for potential landscaping. They didn't have a number yet, and I asked them about it.
yeah, that was just a round number.
Yeah, it was just,
No,
yeah,
one gave us a round number.
The 100,000.
it was,
They said they could take something out.
yeah, and they never did. So I think that should be a little bit less. Whatever.
Tom, do you have it?
What did we say about Omar? Yeah.
And they do
Yes.
have a lot of.
It's not in there, it's in the bag.
I just remember there was a part of it that was unclear. We asked him to specify. And he said,
The
well,
whole
I just
project.
rounded it up to cover this landscape.
Right.
I'm like, well, what is that? Sure, somebody will give you a code. Yes,
They couldn't put it all in one box.
There it is. You want it?
You know, don't look for it, you know what they're looking for.
you
You made it? Well, thanks for sending us.
just made it last time.
Is this your time?
Oh, nice.
It's pretty.
I got a couple cells, like,
Same as mine, dude. You just get different.
While you're talking,
titles.
can I ask you a question? The monies that we have here on this sheet, is that the money that they have left? On this sheet, this one?
Not on that sheet, but on something that I sent previously that showed what the balances were.
Oh, and all
They've
the,
expended
All right,
some of
all
that
right,
funding.
all right, through the
Find it?
chair, please.
and all the, oh.
All right.
Well,
You
you
have
had
it?
to talk, so I'm
right,
sorry,
that's-
he asked the questions.
So 192, 192,000 is fund construction contingencies, that's legit. And
What?
more extensive landscaping buffer between the expanded courts and the surrounding
All
sports
right, what's the
fields.
figure again?
So that,
Basically
so,
200 for each.
so 208 is the gap between their current CPC funding
Okay,
and the awarded bid, which is 1.703.
okay.
they're asking to round it out with 192,000 to fund construction contingencies, meaning like change orders and so forth, which already happened. And more extensive landscaping buffer between the expanded courts and the surrounding sports fields, bike paths. So I can just say,
So
with full knowledge of the project, there is not, the landscaping that's part of the project bid is on the premises. It's not the sort of,
perimeter.
perimeter.
So 208 would get them to full funding for the
That's-
construction.
They say that's the shortage, but
208 would get, yeah, I mean, without any change orders,
Okay,
and there will be change.
we can't anticipate that.
No, I know.
And could fund that at another time.
Yeah, so 208 would give them the full funding that we've been stockpiling all along. Is that correct?
I don't know on that one.
Well, 192 is for past construction, right?
No, one,
No, no,
no,
no.
it was for landscape.
for future
For
contingency.
Buffer
So
landscaping,
208 is for past
It's-
change orders that have already happened.
no, 208 is to
Get
bring
it full funding.
full funding for the project that was bid out and
Oh,
it's underway.
Yeah, and 192 is, there's contingencies, there's unknowns, there's this, that, and the other thing. I'm okay with the 208. To get it to full funding, because that's what we've been stockpiling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years now. You got a comment?
No.
Do you agree with that?
I remember.
Does everybody agree with the 208?
no, I'd like to see if we could fund it all, that'd be great. So, I mean, I'd like to see where we go back to. Don't just put it on.
I mean, the buffer is important just in terms of the abutting area, you know,
Yeah.
it's a sound buffer, it's a
But
visual
there's
screening.
unknown there, and it was a contingency, and they said we just round it up to 400,000. That bothers me. I've got nothing hard there.
Right,
I got unknowns in here.
so maybe if we go
Maybe
back,
300,000 and
I
leave it
did.
at that?
well, no,
I
we can, yeah, and so we need to, I guess, re-approach them. I believe Mark is out of country, some,
We'll give you a price on the buffer, we have a price on the
but
buffer.
yeah, that's what we need, I think, if we could get that.
If we can get a price on the buffer, we can pay them for the buffer.
Yeah, and I don't like the rounding up thing. That, when they said they rounded up, I'm going,
No, I said that, they didn't say that.
No, he did say
yes,
that.
he did say that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm not going
yes,
there.
and I said it because I heard it say it, I guess.
They need to get a little more
Okay.
drilled down on this.
Yeah,
The last two.
Neville,
I just wanna, just throwing this out there, in that area, cause we also have the other fields. One of the most important things about, before we got that property, to use, for us to use like that was the buffer. It really was, against the houses, against Milestone Road, against the other road. That was most important, so I would say even if we can just fund the buffer, that would be fine, I'm good with that. Because that is really something that's really necessary. And that was also one of the things that conservation had to do, to make sure.
yeah, we have
Yeah,
to
you
have,
had to make sure those buffers.
we've got a conservation easement, the land,
Right,
this land bank land.
Exactly.
was under state restriction because it's open, quote unquote, open space. All right, so that's a question mark. Not that it's not gonna get funded, but it's a question mark as the amount of what we're gonna fund.
Right.
Okay, Little League Fields.
Yes.
Now, again,
He also was asked to bring back a schedule. I don't think we got it.
well, he did mention that he could cut back.
He did, and we never saw it. So it's
Anything,
all right, let's follow up with them. The only thing I'm saying there is that
Equipment.
everybody was under the impression that anybody but us, the Little League organization, had anything to do with constructing those fields. They didn't. We constructed the fields.
Mhm.
All the guys on the executive committee with me. We constructed the fields. We did everything out there. Since then, the town, because it's town property, the town has mowed it, lined it. There was always a struggle every year, and some years we would go line it ourselves because we couldn't get anybody to line it. So the Little League has done an awful lot to keep those Delta fields going. They need to be readjusted out there. They're 20 some years old. I mean, Colin's 40, so they're 25, 20, oh, wow, 30 years old. So
But
they're
what-
over 30 years old.
What about the equipment?
The equipment is a problem for me. As much as I love this thing, I coached, I umpired, I coached for 20 years. And the equipment needs to be pulled out.
Yeah,
And that's what he mentioned, he could pull out.
Yeah,
I'll get back to him and find out.
he said those were relatively smaller pieces of the ask, but still.
But still, what can you pull out? But you need the fence, you need the backstop,
Yeah.
you need the bleachers, you need to redo the infields because it chewed up. So there's an awful lot that has to go on out there just to get the fields operational again. So I'll get back to him, find out how much you can cut out. You're gonna get them out, right?
Linda, I'd like to hear some of your umpire stories at some point.
Against male parents.
Not now, please.
Don't have time.
At some point.
And I get a feeling they may have gone away with their tail.
Also, PG.
I had to throw them out.
Okay. Last
Okay.
one, one more.
So now we got, Mass Audubon.
So, Madam Chair, for this
I'll
project.
get back to Charlie, find out what he can take out.
Okay, so,
That's a
um,
question mark now. That's the amount that they're asking.
For the Parks and Rec, am I in or out? Is that what you're saying?
And
It's in, but
It's in, yeah, let's keep it in. I mean, oh, I'm
I was gonna
sorry.
say-
She was asking you this.
say something. You have your red pen over there. What do you want?
No,
she was trying to talk, yeah.
I was like, Madam Chair, and I was
It was over here
addressing,
somewhere.
because you said Mass Audubon, and so I just wanted to give you the numbers that we had, in terms of what they need to take out, because that was asked at the beginning of this meeting, and it said.
Yeah, I had
once
it
we
written
get
down.
there. So you have everything?
I
could
think,
you state what the amount is?
yeah, check what you have.
It was
So-
60,000.
No, I
So
think
we asked them, well,
47 of 16, correct?
47,016 for
Was
the
salary.
salaries, travel expenses, 2,036.
Fringe was 21.
Fringe was 21,598.80, and then indirect costs
What
was
was that?
another one, 27,157.03.
What was that again?
Fringe?
27 what?
Fringe.
Indirect costs,
Which was what?
$27,157.03.
So the balance B,
What I had was 62,550.
But the
Is
indirect
that
was
what you
the
have?
question.
Yeah, 62,550 for contractors and the 2,381 for supplies for an adjusted ask of $64,931. I did reach out to them and, it wasn't from, Mark, but from, I guess,
Somebody?
the assistant director, Jude, and she wanted to know, well, in short, she wanted to know where this was written, that we couldn't fund it, and I mean, that
We
was her
can
question.
fund salaries if it requires a salary like we did for St. Mary's, required a project manager because the priest isn't gonna manage that kind of project. We have done that when we've had projects that had to be managed, so I'm not terribly worried about that part of it, but he just broke it down for us.
And then she referenced the Boston CPC. As an example, it allows 15% of the budget to be salary. While Lennox CPC also allows salary, but with no fixed percentages.
I mean, I'm not, as I said, I'm not terribly worried about, because we're under the 4 million, I'm not terribly worried about their salary because you can't manage that property without a person. It's the fringe and the travel.
well, also the YES program, the employees of the YES program,
Right.
the project manager is one thing, I get that, like Linda Loring. I can't remember if they built in a salary for the,
No, we.
I don't
never paid
think
for
so,
salary
no,
for them.
they-
It's just the
yeah.
actual
Right.
physical work.
Yeah.
so, and this is a very
they-
similar project, it's not fire breaks, but it's trail clean, like we do it all the
Right.
time. Trail cleanup, I am
But they
very
do
familiar
have
with the type.
listed in here this indirect costs, which.
Yeah,
Well, was that indirect cost, the 27, or was it all-purpose person's access? I have it down as something, there was an all-persons access, which is handicap accessibility as part of this trail stuff. Because
yeah,
I was specifically went after that, and they have to provide it. If they're providing able-bodied access, they have to be.
but that's like
accessible.
boardwalks, I didn't see anything
No, it
about,
could be stone, it can be stone. It
not
can
for
be-
wheelchair bound.
It can be stone dust.
Stone dust, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, because that's what they use in part of Plymouth Plantation. So I don't know if it's indirect, the 27, or the all-person access is part of the first two. So if we take out, I just still don't understand what fringe is.
It's,
Did I miss that?
I think it's associated with salary, there's a 9% and like a 4% or something like that, so maybe that's
I
to do
read
with
it, it said,
benefits for the salary.
Because I've got all my notes here,
hold on.
and I'm still confused about the fringe part of this.
In other words, he needs to come back and give us more information, I think even he frankly,
He was confused.
he was confused, he's like, I didn't actually do this, so I don't. Yeah.
It was fun.
So that's a question mark as to how much they really need.
Yes.
Okay,
Or we can really do,
okay.
and then,
So. She did let me know that they've removed all 4 bulleted items that I listed in the email to her. Salaries, travels, fringe, and indirect. So that the total matches what we wrote in $64,931.
Okay,
But then she wanted to know, if there was a link to where the Nantucket CPC lists the eligible and ineligible expenses in the application,
No, there isn't.
because there's no general state guidance and.
And it's a case by case issue here.
Yeah.
As to who, what it needs. I'm not adverse to giving them the salary here,
or some portion of it.
something.
Again,
Because
there's,
they need physically to be on Nantucket to do it. I'm not doing the travel. I'm not doing fringe because I still don't get it, you know, that kind of stuff. But if we do the salary, to actually physically do the work and cut the things and lay the stone and all that other stuff.
for the YES program.
For the YES program, I think 4716 is reasonable.
But I'll have problems with salaries on these projects. I will, because I don't, think we're supposed to be doing salaries.
Yeah, and that's another slippery slope.
You know, it's just-
We've done it
I know we have,
many times.
I know we have, because we have, doesn't mean it's correct.
I
And
think
it's
they
a
have to
case
be
by
a
case,
specialist.
case by case.
No, but for me, it has to be a specialist.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a specialist, but that's not.
These are,
salary.
from what I understand, these are
If it's-
interns.
Yeah, that's a.
Right.
And they're coming to the city, Concom, no matter what happens here, but I don't have a problem with skilled people, with interns and skilled supervision to make this handicap accessible and to actually run this program, because you can't run this program without the person. There are a lot of these things that can be done without a supervisory person. This is not one of them.
I'm gonna reread this because I didn't see that called out in a really deliberate way, the accessibility factor, but I,
Well, I go after it every time.
no, I know you do. I hear you on Concom.
Okay, Neville,
We'll forget about it, because I was gonna speak, but I don't think I had to raise my hand or just speak out. You got it,
I do that all the time.
So,
no.
it's not fair, to summarize, starting at roughly 48 million, they got 350,000 for bond 1, 350,000 for bond 2, 200,000 off the top of John's head, operating cost 5%. That leaves us, and we take out 8 Federal Street, take out the 2 historical association projects for now. We take out Safe Harbor, Nantucket Ice Rink. We're at $3,670,262. So
Three, what's, can you say that again? 3, 6?
3,670,262.
but we have question marks
We
on
have
several of these,
Yeah.
okay?
So they may go up and down, but right now, based on numbers, and I
What do you
know,
have for the racket club?
pull them out.
What happens if it's 208?
Oh, no, I put it down to 208, sorry.
Okay.
I did change that.
Okay. Okay,
Then I put down Mass Audubon at 64,931,
okay,
but that may go up, so
all
right
right.
now.
So we need answers from,
NRSA.
so did we take out remain completely? Is that where we are? I had a question mark.
That is still in my,
You still have remains?
I still have all of remain in there.
All right, 341, 190.
Remain, I had a question mark.
All right, hang on.
I have
And so we, NISDA,
700,000.
you left in at 346, 755, even though we have questions. You've left in, you took out the 2 Whaling Museum, the 2 NHAs, which I'm opposed to. Okay, we'll keep going. We have questions for the Racket Club, or you put it down to 211. Okay. And we have the Little League fields you left in at 719.
Yeah.
That may make it up. So we may have more money to play with here. And you left 64,931 in Mass Audubon, which may allow us to do their third person. So we have some stuff to play with, but we need answers from Remain, we need answers from NISDA, we need answers from NHA. We need answers from the Racket, we need answers from Little League, and we need answers from Audubon. Is that pretty much where we're going next?
Parks and Rec, did you say that?
Yes,
Just a
yeah.
little bit of link, yeah.
Okay.
You want me to reach out to NRSA?
The who?
The NRSA.
Racket Club?
Well,
So,
who's, Madam Chair,
Yeah,
whoever these projects are assigned to for CPC project managers, those should be the persons reaching out to these organizations
Not necessarily. They're in before all of us now.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying if we're going to circle back again and ask them to give us an amendment or,
Yeah, fine.
That makes sense,
No, we should-
right?
I don't know who the manager is of the NRSA, forget. I mean, the project manager.
I sent that list out to
I
everyone
know.
where it shows.
Who's got
They have to
But,
send it out
um,
again.
But yeah, I mean, because if
landmark?
we've already had the interview sessions, and so we've asked folks to send back within 2 weeks, and now here we
Well,
are.
actually, no, the request should come from the office. On these current grants, not
Okay.
from the project managers. They should come from the office. I'll
Managing-
go over those with you.
So what I was saying
Does
is,
it matter?
we've had the meeting for the interview sessions, we've asked folks to bring it back. Any amendments, for questions that the commissioners may have had, and that gives us 2 weeks. We typically give them 2 weeks to do that. And now here we are, probably about 3 weeks later, and this is, I understand there's more questions, it's going to prolong. I don't have a problem with reaching out to all these organizations. Just let me know what the questions are
We'll go over
that you
that
wanna
with you.
ask. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll send it out, but, just understand that this is, the process is being done a little bit differently where it's going to prolong this.
We got
Before
it.
we get to second round deliberations where it's actually decided
We have to do this again.
which each person, or what
We
each
got that.
organization is going to be, the designated.
No, we don't have them all
amounts.
funded.
Hi. This is just for my own knowledge. Can you explain to me the bond process?
The bond process, we took bonds because they were a huge ass and you couldn't do half a field or under limit for the soccer fields, not the deltas like we're talking about now, the ones across the street. And we didn't have enough money to fund it. So we voted to take a bond, which means the town goes into the bond market and bonds it over time and we pay it off over 20 years. We did pay that one off. It was a 10-year bond. So we didn't have to outlay the $900,000 all at one time, or the 5 million that the trust got, or the other 5 for affordable housing, because we don't have that kind of cash. So we can pay those bonds off every year and still they have the access to the full 5 million.
Which is.
And the town's bond rating is pretty good right now.
The first
correct?
350 that we're
Yeah.
paying, that's going to pay off.
Yeah,
Oh,
so the town's bond rating is the best it's been for a while.
Okay. And what would be the negative impact of taking?
Because every year we don't have to do the one we just did. We have to service the bonds. Which is the 350,
Lower
350.
top.
That's an amount we chose, which seems to be comfortable for the finance department to pay off. The next one, the next 5 million that we voted on this year to give them in a bond. We haven't established what that amount is. He said it could be 200, 250,
Right.
whatever. So it doesn't have a huge impact on the total that we have coming from the state.
Damn near.
But when we first came into being 24 years ago. Because so few, we were one of the first 3 that ever opted in, that we were getting almost 100% match. So we had a lot of money to give away, and we did a lot of stuff, the Methodist Church, huge amount, Unitarian, things like that. Now, because there are so many opting in, our percentage is so much less that it's averaging around 4 million a year. The governor sometimes will put in a supplemental request, which is a couple of years ago, didn't we? We got a couple more million that we weren't expecting. So it's just, it goes with the marketplace, basically. How many more are gonna opt in, but I think everybody who's opted in is opted in.
Thank you.
And you could vote it out, because it is a percentage. But you can vote it out, but nobody's ever voted one out because they do such great things. But we have been in the vanguard of doing
Town
stuff,
meeting last year was,
that people don't, the rest of the state hasn't done. Because they don't have as huge as, we have more pre-Civil War structures still in existence than anywhere else in the country. So we have a lot more historic preservation, and we have limited open space because we're an island. So we have problems with affordable housing because we're an island. So we have done stuff and been more wide-ranging and more productive than almost any other CPC in the state. Because I looked at every single CPC before we pulled that bond to see what everybody was doing with their funding. For affordable housing. So we're in pretty good shape down here. I just wish we had more money. because we have such needs down here.
So it's just historical, so.
So now we gotta figure out another meeting time. Well, and I have everybody's schedule right here.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
before we go into figuring out another meeting time, can we just review what the questions are from each
I'll do
person
that.
but from each commissioner, because everybody had something different to say about the ones that have question marks.
well, the remain was, do they have a pending historic restriction?
or
And
easement.
to me, can they wait a year? Is it premature? Because they've still got to work out some stuff. Then you've got NISDA. I believe John wanted to know a detailed synopsis of their public access issues, details. And on the NHA, well-off fundraising potential, we're making a lot of assumptions.
What was the
and
question for NHA?
What exactly is their fundraising potential for that
Okay.
project?
Well,
And phasing of.
yeah, I wanted to know.
I can't, I'm not there yet. I'm still on the handle back.
Okay, sorry.
We're making assumptions that they can raise a lot of money to fix this. And that they're well off. So I need to know what their situation is financially. On the old mill, what are the phasing? Because they did mention phasing. Then on
Safe harbor for animals.
Safe Harbor, that was taken out.
Okay.
Community drink was
Pushed
taken
in
out.
next year.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with it. but
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
The Nantucket Racket
Mhm.
Club was.
Wait, ice rink is that?
Ice rink is out. We gotta drill down this cost, the 400,000. I'm not rounding anything. So we gotta find out exactly how to drill that cost down.
The one
So you
ninety-two.
want,
Yeah, the
so
192.
from the
drill it
racket
down.
sports, what's your question? You wanna know what their,
The 192 that they gave is covering,
What?
construction contingencies
That's
and
what they-
landscaping buffer.
Yeah, we can't do contingencies. Just a minute, please.
You're going so fast, Madam Chair. I did not say I want to Safe Harbor out. I'm not in agreement with that.
I think everybody else.
I'm part of everybody. I
Okay,
am.
we're not voting, but the sense of the meeting was about 8 other members, 7 other members, is that it's out.
Okay, I'm against it.
Okay.
I want that for the
Racket
record.
Club we're drilling down on. The Little Leagues, we gotta figure out what he can take out of there.
so he needs to submit an amended.
Yeah, what exactly
breakdown.
can we break that out? Mass Audubon. Well, we gotta figure that Mass Audubon out.
Well, I mean, this Jude Griffin said that. They did take out
All the other stuff.
those things to bring it down to the $64,931,
Ask her, the question to ask her. Can they do any of this project? Without paying for the salary here, without us covering the salary? Where does that leave the project if you don't have the skilled people to do the pathways, et cetera, et cetera? That's the question. And I'll go over these questions with you. Sure, right. Oh, hello. Yeah. Does that cover it for everybody so far? Okay. Now we get into the fun and games. Neville, you're out next week, correct? Is you had people coming?
No, that was, our last meeting.
You said November 3rd, you were out.
I said October.
You said November 3rd, but
At
whatever.
our last meeting, I had someone come in that weekend.
Were
You
you,
asked me, can I still come in? My friend came in on the day that we were meeting. That's what happened.
well, I have the week of
Wrong
November 3rd,
Well,
you have a problem, but whatever.
month. You have, it's not.
Okay, so
necessarily
you're
what it
okay
is.
next week.
I don't know.
Tom, you were gone from the 6th to the 17th on vacation.
Yeah, I changed it. It's the 14th to the 24th now, but I can be remote for any of that.
All right, so hold on. So your 14th, that changes something drastically through the
But
20th.
I'll make whatever remote.
You're coming back before Thanksgiving.
Third.
Yes. That's just when it works for me.
All right, Joe, you're okay till Christmas.
Yes.
Eleanor,
Yes,
you're November 10th through the 20th.
correct. I'm back on the 19th. I can be here on the
Yeah,
20th.
John, you're fine. Right?
Sure.
Sure. You're in Vermont, enjoying
I'm
it.
not too far away.
You're not too bad. Jesse, you are out the 18th of December, so you're okay up until then.
Yeah, preferably not Fridays and as of right now.
Oh, preferably not Fridays. I've got contract review every Friday. That's fine. Tim is out the 21st of October to the 4th of November, so this may work next week, guys. Connie, you have something going on the first 2 weeks of November,
But I can be remote. if
for next,
that's
for
okay.
next week. Okay,
Yes, we have a big project going live at the hospital.
yeah. So it looks like potentially,
Madam Chair,
yes.
I would ask that because of Tuesday town meeting, which
Oh,
probably
my
people
God.
don't want to do that, and also Wednesday, we have a really heavy select board agenda, which I'd like to, so if we could not do it Tuesday or Wednesday, if possible, that would be
No.
great.
We're fine.
And then
I'm involved
also-
in those things. So what about the 7th?
You probably have a
Just-
meeting on my.
just The other thing that I wanna mention, a lot of we're meeting about is contingent on people getting back to us.
Quickly.
Yeah, well,
Right,
we're gonna get
and-
back to them like today.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're going to,
And if they
Yeah,
don't have the
we-
information, they don't have the
that they're
information.
gonna get
They've already been asked
right.
for
I
it,
know,
right?
they've already been asked for it and they haven't.
Okay, I
applied
just
for
wanna,
it.
I just wanna
You
make
know,
that.
so
make
this
that
is just
clear.
fine tuning some of the stuff that they've already given us.
Am I able to join in remote? Because there are some days that I may not be here.
What day, are you not here next Thursday, the 6th? I know some Tuesdays you're not.
It's Concom day.
Yeah, it's
I don't care. It's
normally,
at 5 o'clock.
remote on.
Do two in one day.
You don't do
typically
mine?
Thursdays
I got
and
another meeting after
Fridays.
this.
Sorry, what'd you say, Glenn?
Thursday at
Typically on
9?
Thursday, no, I said typically on Thursdays and Fridays, I'm remote, but which day and which time are you looking? for?
Thursday at 9.
If that's, is everybody available
I
at
have
that time?
executive session. Select board, but that's, yeah, it's just me.
I
No,
have
no.
a site visit at 11, so I'll have to leave.
Okay, then Thursday at noon,
Mhm.
Yeah.
lunch.
It's not that, it's just a site visit. I can do 9, you think it'll go longer?
Well, he can't do that.
Oh, sorry.
It's fun.
No, it's not.
Tim is back on Tuesday for a time.
Noon should be fine.
Noon on Thursday, the 6th.
Uh, uh,
I have a meeting at 1:35.
11.
I'm not able to join in remote because I need to be here to set this up,
Well,
so.
I can get somebody to set it up. I've had to do that. I've
The
done.
noon is not going to work for me.
11?
Um,
What about Friday?
the mornings are better.
11? What time is
like
your
6
executive?
a.m.
How about the
Right,
following
seven.
No, the
Seven.
following week is got a lot of problems.
Oh,
Is,
So we do 9, Tom, you said that.
what time is your
Yeah, it won't be
executive
here.
session?
That's,
Oh,
that's at
no,
9.
yeah.
Well, how long do you think that's gonna go?
Anywhere from an hour to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure that
Gross,
this space is
after town
available
meeting and
for
stuff,
any
it's-
space.
And an ACC appeal.
You're gonna be.
Friday. What about Friday?
Long week.
Is Friday possible?
I can't do it at 9 in the morning on Friday because I have contract with you at 9.
Oh, I know.
But they can go without me if they need to. But I'm usually the quorum.
Monday, no, the 10th, no.
We're giving away 675.
Are there any other times on Friday that work for other
Well,
people?
can you attend this one and have them rescheduled?
No, it's been scheduled all the way until December.
Can I
How
ask,
about noon on Friday?
The mornings were better for me, early morning. Can we do 7?
are we having this meeting whether we get answers back from the questions we have or
Yeah,
not?
Because they gotta, they've got to get their act together.
And we're making our decisions then.
So,
Okay,
Hold on. We're talking about next Friday, the 7th, is that what that is? Yes.
or, not. Huh?
9 o'clock on Friday?
9 o'clock on Friday, I think.
Because this, we meet in there that other week. Hey, are you there? Do we have a meeting next Friday, the 7th of CRC? What time? Is that for sure, or is that something that was just willy-nilly scheduled in case we needed it?
Just tell that happen, that's me.
And you're in the trailer
That's gonna happen.
from A?
Regular meeting. So, I'm gonna see if we can, I mean, we haven't.
Okay, all right, thanks. Thanks. We're in here. at 9 o'clock.
So,
that's right.
yeah, Madam Chair, can we, do deliberations the same day as our regular meeting? Because we have to do, we didn't have a regular meeting. It was canceled for
We don't have enough people.
October
I won't be.
on the 18th.
I will not.
No,
Oh,
Can
you
I
won't be.
throw out a crazy suggestion, 4 o'clock?
Oh, gosh.
No.
Wow.
That goes into his Concom.
no, on Friday.
Oh, on Friday, so.
And what was the reason we
Friday.
can't do it at 9 o'clock on Thursday?
Thomas
Because-
can't be here,
Um,
and Thomas can be Friday.
No, he's Wednesday. He can be here Thursday.
No, he had a-
Executive.
Executive,
Yes, it's that.
Yeah,
and Wednesday's the problem?
It's different.
When,
So it's the day after.
well, I'll do it. If everyone else can do it, that's fine.
Can everybody else do it on Wednesday next week
Wednesday?
at 9?
Yes. I can.
I
Wednesday
might get fired from my job.
being the 5th.
Well, you're just starting out.
So it's Wednesday the fifth.
Does next Wednesday at 9 work for everybody?
9 to what?
Because Tim will be back on Tuesday. 9 to 12. We're not gonna, hopefully not go that far.
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. 9 Wednesday. Oh, you have a site visit one day.
No, I also said this other thing, I'm gonna cancel leadership resolution.
That's the day after town meeting.
That's not, you really wanna go.
Yeah, town's required.
Year is almost over.
Hopefully it won't go on that long.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can do it at 9, but if you can get out before noon, I would appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hold on.
We're all in that camp.
Yeah, we're all in that camp.
When will you send out a?
So, and this is whether we get answers or not, so this is the 5th.
So they gotta get their act
Day
together
after
really
special town
quickly.
meeting. or rather.
I have to double check something. I think I may have this Munis training that they're making everybody go
Yeah,
through.
there's
But there's a couple of different times and dates.
No, when I pulled it up, they gave you one, there were different meetings, but there was one specific Munis training day. There was no,
They have multiple times?
nope,
No, it's
There was
each
one.
subject has its own time.
Oh. What time is that?
and I have to find it.
Mallory, do you have?
But I think it's from 9 to 1, sorry, John. But I don't remember if it was on the 4th or the 5th.
Somebody needs to check that.
I can check it, just give me a minute.
Oh my God, they wouldn't schedule it on town meeting day, but then again, nobody knew town meeting was coming up until recently.
See here.
It shouldn't have happened. Don't you have a nice week next week, Tom?
Mhm, yeah, it's gonna be a week.
So much for your new job.
The rules turn just, there was waiting for it to come up.
I need to call the selectman's office.
So,
You want me to ask Erica?
Yeah.
no, I mean, it's coming up, the rule is just turning. It takes a minute.
Look at that. For God's sakes, that's right. When is your munis training for next week?
It is on the 5th from 1 to 4:30.
Okay, I'll call you back. Okay. What time is it?
1 to 4:30.
All right. Then we're fine at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
All right, so it's 9 o'clock Wednesday.
If they have the space available, so I'll send out an email and see if they.
They better.
Room is available.
I don't care if we sit in the park.
I'm sitting on.
Yeah, you get to sit in the sanctity of your office.
There's enough time to
They're gonna have. to-
post all this stuff. You
they'll
got
have
posts
to- they'll
now.
have to do it. They have, these guys have a pretty good idea of their things. They're gonna have to answer it.
No, I mean, this, all this public thing stuff.
So we just, all we have to do is put the Zoom and the YouTube links on it.
Okay.
We're fine.
Just making sure.
And then we can put, Glenna, put these fund requisitions back on there.
Motion to adjourn?
And, just what, Glenna, you're following up with the budgets for the people?
No, well, I'm following up with the town on what we have.
Uh,
Glenna is
requested
reaching out to
numbers.
these guys.
Requesting numbers for,
These guys.
the ones that
Yeah.
we needed more information on, yeah,
Yeah.
I will,
And you just CC the managers on that, right?
if you want me to. you
Yeah, I
want me
mean,
to?
you might as well, if there's a manager involved. Right, you mentioned earlier that the managers should be doing it.
Well, the
Well, they should
project,
not be doing it.
the
These are
project
new fund
managers,
requisitions, and not every one of them has a fund person.
Okay, got it,
So no, it's
Sorry.
coming
Well-
from the office because it's an official request from the office.
sorry.
Just so you would
But
know,
just,
if
yeah.
you don't mind, just so you would know, if I have any of my projects and if there's a special request done here, whether the office does it or not, I get in touch with the people that I work with. Cause I stay that close to them. You have to be close to them.
Did
You
you
gotta
give
know
me
what's
the
going
perspective?
I
I thought I gave you one.
was it a physical one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little folder thing.
Yeah,
Um,
You're gonna have to give it to them again,
you know, well, if you gave it to me, I have it, so.
but you might as well bring another one.
and Connie,
It
did
was
you
months
get
ago.
one? No, it's a whole packet
Yeah.
that I created in the office. You didn't get that? I'll make sure that you get one. You got yours, okay.
Somebody, motion to adjourn at 10:47.
I already did, but I'll do it again. Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Don't all second at one time. All those in favor? Thanks, everybody. You're a lot farther than I thought.
Got a windy week ahead of us.
You all right there, Glenna? You don't need any help? Anything?
Oh, no,
Okay,
that's it.
Right.
This for
then I'm on.
Breakfast?
Huh?